What do you think of students who cheat their way into the Ivy League schools when the best students from all over the world compete fiercely for their admission? Among those students who found an easy way for their college admission, there are daughter and nieces of a South Korean Minister of Justice. What would you say if none of them got penalized for their actions? South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Minister of Justice Han Dong-un launched an investigation on a daughter of Cho Guk, the former Minister of Justice, from a previous admission for 2 years. As a result, Cho Guk's daughter was charged for a forgery of citation that was not counted towards college admission, resulting in high school as her highest level of education. And his wife was sentenced to 4 years in prison. What is shocking the most is that when the Minister of Justice Han Dong-un's daughter and his nieces were using all sort of illegitimate way to get into the Ivy League, he was investigating the former Minister of Justice Cho Guk's daughter for possible education scandal. But nothing has been investigated about scandals related to the Minister of Justice in the prosecution-controlled Republic of Korea. The following is an article from the Korea Times Daily about the allegation of Minister Justice Han Dong-un's nieces and their academic backgrounds. The Korean American community is seething with the suspicion of a plagiarism paper written by Mr. Han's nieces. People are saying that this is an admission scandal. Criticisms are pouring and that it is difficult to tolerate not only the plagiarism of the thesis, but also the circumstantial evidence of hiring ghostwriter to write an essay and the programmer to develop an app on behalf of them to upgrade their college admission qualification in an illegal manner. According to the report by the Korea Times Daily on May 23, 2022, the Korean American community in the United States expressed anger and embarrassment at the allegation of a spec community of Han Dong-un's daughter and nieces revealed in the process of Han's appointment as the Minister of Justice. People who interviewed with the Korea Times Daily said this is a college admission scandal that ordinary people would never dare to imagine. But everyone involved in this case says, I didn't know and managed to get away with it. And they said they are angry at the attitude of a minister who constantly said that it's the qualification that will not be used for his daughter's college admission and its purpose is only for study. The Korean American community complained that they are being directly or indirectly affected by allegations of a spec community involving Han's daughter and nieces. The older sister of Minister Han's wife, Mrs. Jin, worked illegally as a college admission consultant in the state of California and attracted many Korean American parents. A total of 80 students shared the same activities such as writing essays and volunteering with the minister's daughters and nieces. Some students from spec community published articles in a preparatory journal and used them to fund leadership activities through scholarships. As a result, they are criticized for taking away the opportunities of other students. One Korean American said, Mrs. Jin bluntly responded to her acquaintance by saying, "Why aren't you thankful even though I helped you build a qualification that your parents didn't think of? And so are you not going to use this qualification for admission?" And added, "I've been told to be quiet because she will return the money." Coincidentally, Han Dong-un, the Minister of Justice, booked a business trip to the United States as soon as he became the minister, and meeting with the FBI was on his schedule. There are 4 days hiatus during the 7-day business trip, and many people are wondering why he must have visited the FBI at this point. He originally had a meeting with the U.S. Attorney General on his business trip, but it never happened. Instead, he met the Assistant Secretary of State, not even the Deputy Secretary of State, which created many doubts about his hasty business trip. In addition, in regards to the request to disclose the detail of the business trip that cost about $50,000 for a 1-week trip, he made an excuse that it could not be disclosed because it would harm the national interest. People are wondering, what did he do for 4 days, where he was, and why he cannot disclose it. His sister-in-law was accused of illegally setting up a college admission consulting company, embezzling taxes, and systematically intervened many students, including her 2 daughters, and Minister Han's daughter's college admission scandal are said to have fled to South Korea with her two daughters to escape from FBI investigation when allegation of admission scandal surfaced. As we cannot expect investigation into academic corruption allegation of Han Dong-un's daughter and nieces, we sincerely hope that U.S. will conduct investigation into the admission scandal and people who did everything they could to get into the Ivy League universities.